the 10th question of the model paper. There was a solution prepared by mixing 3 solutions: sodium chloride solution, a barium chloride solution, and a sodium nitrate solution. After that, an excess amount of silver nitrate solution is added. We need to calculate the mass of the precipitate. So let's analyze this question. So it's clear that chloride ions are there in the prepared solution. So chloride ions react with silver nitrate to form silver chloride. We know that silver chloride is a precipitate. So to calculate the mass of the precipitate, we need to calculate the number of moles of silver chloride. Then we can use number of moles is mass over molar mass formula to calculate mass of silver nitrate. To calculate number of moles of silver nitrate, we need number of moles of chloride ions. So it's clear that chloride ions were released by both sodium chloride and barium chloride. So even though there are sodium nitrate, it doesn't release chloride ions. So we don't need to bother about sodium nitrate. Then to calculate number of moles of chloride ions released by sodium chloride, we need number of moles of sodium chloride. To calculate number of moles of chloride ions released by barium chloride, we need to know number of moles of barium chloride. Then we can add those two chloride ions to get the total number of moles of chloride ions. So we need to start the calculation from number of moles of sodium chloride. So this is our rough work. Let's calculate number of moles of sodium chloride. Number of moles of sodium chloride. So how to calculate number of moles of sodium chloride when concentration and volume are given? Concentration is number of moles of volume of the solution. So we can multiply both sides by volume of the solution. Then number of moles is concentration times volume of the solution. So concentration of sodium chloride solution is 0.01 moles per cubic decimeter times volume is 500 cubic centimeters, which means 0.5 cubic decimeters. We need to divide by 1000 to convert cubic centimeters to cubic decimeters. Per cubic decimeter, moles, 5 times 1, 5, 3 decimal places. So this is the number of moles of sodium chloride. Then we can calculate number of moles of chloride ions released by sodium chloride. We know when we dissolve 1 mole of sodium chloride in water, it releases 1 mole of sodium ions and 1 mole of chloride ion. Therefore, it is clear that mole ratio between sodium chloride and chloride ions is 1 to 1. So, same amount, 0.005 moles of chloride ions were released by sodium chloride. Similarly, we can calculate number of moles of barium chloride. Number of moles of barium chloride. Concentration of the barium chloride solution is 0.02 moles per cubic decimeter. Volume is 250 cubic centimeters, which means 250 divided by 1000 cubic decimeters, 0.25 cubic decimeters. Cubic decimeters per cubic decimeters. 2 times 25, 50. 4 decimal places. When barium chloride dissolves in water, it releases barium ions and chloride ions. So 1 to 2 is the mole ratio between barium chloride and chloride ions. Therefore we can calculate number of moles of chloride ions released by barium chloride. Mole ratio is 1 to 2, that means 2 times this, 0.005 moles times 2, it is 0.5 times 2, 10, then 3 decimal places, 1, 2, 3. Then what do we need to do? Now we know number of moles of chloride ions released by sodium chloride, number of moles of chloride ions released by barium chloride. Then we can add those two to get the total number of chloride ions. Total number of chloride ions in the prepared solution. Zero 0.005 moles from sodium chloride, 0.010 moles from barium chloride. From sodium nitrate solution, there are no chloride ions. So the total is 5 plus 0, 5, 0 plus 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So this is the total number of chloride ions in the prepared solution. Then what happens when we add the silver nitrate solution? Chloride ions react with silver nitrate to form silver chloride. It doesn't dissolve in water, therefore it is the precipitate. Now we can calculate number of moles of silver chloride precipitated. Mole ratio is 1 to 1 when we consider chloride ions and silver chloride. Therefore, number of moles of silver chloride precipitated is 0.015 moles. Then we can calculate mass of silver chloride precipitated. we know that number of moles is mass over molar mass. We can multiply both sides by molar mass, then mass is number of moles, 0.015 moles times molar mass of silver chloride. Silver 108, chlorine 35.5, then 143.5 grams per mole. So answer is in grams. So we can multiply 0.015 by 2, then it is 0.03. We can divide this by 2, then it is 7175. So 0.03 times 71.75. We multiplied this value by 2, then we divide this value by 2, then same value. As this is an MCQ, you don't need to simplify this multiplication exactly. So this is 0.03 times 71.75. So we can take it as 0.03 times 70. So 3 times 70, 210. Then 2 decimal places. So answer is approximately 2.1 grams. So when we check the answers, it is clear that third one is the appropriate answer because it is 2.1525 grams. So we can select that one as the correct answer. If you want, you can do the simplification exactly and check the approximated answer is correct. 3 times 5, 15. 1, 3 times 7, 21 plus 2, 22. 2, 3 times 1, 3 plus 2, 5. 3 times 7, 21. Then how many decimal places? 2 decimal places, 2 decimal places, all together 4 decimal places. So mass of silver chloride precipitated is 2.1525 grams. So we can check the given answers. So that value is given in the third answer. Therefore, for this question, third one is the correct answer. So this is how you should obtain the correct answer to this question. First you need to analyze the question. You can do that analysis in a rough sheet. Then you can start the calculation. You don't need to write these statements when you do this calculation for the MCQ. I explain all the steps while writing the statements. If you haven't got the correct answer, it's better to get the answer step by step like this. If you want to boost your chemistry marks, you can join our online paper discussion class. WhatsApp now to join. Don't wait. To get this question paper free of charge, WhatsApp now to 071 7191 626.